Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday Night Modern. We're gonna fix that camera for you so we can see Eddie's handsome face. There it is. Hey, Eddie. Oh, there it goes. There it is. There we go. Maybe.
Thank God.
I'm Jake Valentine, joined as usual by the one and only Animals.
Ahoy, ahoy.
Ahoy, matey. You ready to plunder for some modern action here?
Yarg.
Yarg. We got John versus Eldrazi Tron. Terrell was on Red Green Eldrazi last time, wasn't he?
He was. So I wonder if it's still red-green or if it's actual Tron.
We'll find out shortly. As he is pile shuffling. Remember, kids, pile shuffling is not shuffling. It's just counting.
It's counting. And it's not sufficient randomization.
We're going to have...
What is the number? 11?
For
11
what?
shuffles.
I think it was like 8.
To sufficiently randomize your...
We're going to have a bunch of hot takes here tonight in the world of Magic. In the world outside of Magic, too. We're going to hot take about some Magic. Hot take about some reserve list action. You're going to hot take about some Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. Yeah. I hate it. I hate everybody. I'm going to walk away during Jake's hot takes, though, about multiple things.
What do you hate about Kingdom Hearts?
Why? First of all, I mean, they've only broken my heart for, what, 14 years now? 12, 13 years? So they moved it back. And then, why do I have to play Ratatouille?
Because Ratatouille is the best Pixar movie of all time.
The movie's great, but there's no villain.
Yes, there is. The little small short guy.
Oh, you're gonna fight him?
Yeah, you're gonna fight him.
You say, "Come at me, bro."
Yes, yes, you are.
With the little stupid mouse.
Yeah, he is not stupid. He's a national treasure. We'll go ahead and fix that.
He's adorable.
Overlay for you shortly too.
He's adorable.
He is adorable. What do you think is worse, though? Kingdom Hearts in the Ratatouille level, or the Square Enix press conference?
I actually didn't watch. I try to not watch any of those because I hate like fanfare, and it's kind of like there's not a good way to put it, but it's basically like a company circle jerk. Like this is all the great stuff that we're doing.
Square Enix press conference was a joke.
Was it?
Yes, there was no fanfare of any kind.
Really?
Yeah, it was just an embarrassing.
Did they show the Final Fantasy VII remake?
No.
That they completely scrapped?
Which they should.
Yeah, it was going to be garbage. Why do I want to play an action RPG? I don't. It's Final Fantasy VII. Just give me updated graphics. Alright, so Eddie leaves off. He fetches for an untapped Blood Crypt. We're going to see a Thoughtseize or an Inquisition, because Deathrite Shaman is banned. Eddie with the thorough shuffling. Alright. Looks like he's going to Inquisition. Almost. Oh, there we did it. We'll get to see what Terrell's actually on. Looks like he's actually on Eldrazi Tron. He has one legal target. He's going to take that Dismember. So, Terrell is on actual Eldrazi Tron.
Do you think he's inspired by the no banlist Modern results of surprise, surprise, Eldrazi being too good for Modern?
Yeah, it's why you play a Tier 3 Legacy deck at best. No, it's just Eye of Ugin's completely busted.
Yeah. Compared
to every other card on that ban list, Eye of Ugin in the correct deck. In a vacuum, Eye of Uggin's terrible, right? Because it doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, it just literally doesn't do anything. Yeah. When it was printed, people were like, "What? This card is completely useless."
Right. Did you watch any of the top 8?
A little bit. Not surprised that BBD did so well with Miracles.
Yeah, and because I don't think that deck's very good.
No.
He is quite possibly one of the
best
players. He's always one of the best players on the planet, regardless. But
and he got to play an unfair advantage because people don't really know the Modern metagame, especially.
Yeah, there was no metagame.
There wasn't a metagame at all. So he got to play a deck that nearly was card for card the deck he used to play in Legacy.
Correct.
Terrell with the awkward Seagate into Wastes, Eddie into a turn 3 Tarmogoyf.
Yeah.
Oh no, he said pass.
Terrell doesn't have a. He needs a.
He needs an Eldrazi land really badly.
He needs a soul land.
I don't think he's got a ballista.
Are both our players shufflers messed up? Uh-oh. This is actually bad. I don't even know if he wanted to play this.
The ballista on 1.
Because it's going to grow the. It's going to grow.
Yeah, it's going to get bolted and make it a bolt go for 5/6.
Yeah, I'm snap bolting it. Actually, Fatal Push is probably better use there.
Yeah.
So Terrell's going to ping Eddie for 1. But yeah, I thought it was interesting. What was it? 5 Eldrazi Tron decks. I mean, 5 Eldrazi decks. 2 black-green
depths and then BBD.
And then BBD, yeah. Which I don't know if you play that tournament again tomorrow, I'm sure you'd still see a lot of the colorless Eldrazi decks.
Yeah, I imagine people have a better.
I would be more interested. I didn't look at like the top 32, but that's what I'm actually interested in.
There's a spicy M19 card that can deal with those Eldrazi though.
What is it?
It's like Swords of Plowshares. But
oh yeah, just for colorless creatures. Yeah, I saw that.
That seems really
so narrow.
I know.
So incredibly narrow. Why didn't they print that during Battle for Zendikar? All right, so it looks like
would have been too convenient.
Actually over.
Yeah, Terrell gonna take 3. Goes down to 7. And then he's gonna untap.
If I'm Terrell, I can't keep a 2-land no play hand.
No, absolutely
with no
not.
map. Like you have to have like turn 1 interaction.
Thank you, Aeon Seas, for the follow. Aeon Seas, appreciate the follow. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Here is a Collins command that says, I'm going to deal 2 damage to you, and then I'm going to kill you with this 5-power Tarmogoyf. It's a real interesting game there. Both players a little bit awkward. Excuse me, we both have colds in middle of June.
Right.
It's been a cold, wet, rainy weekend. No, we do not. I did not go to any convention, so I do not have con cred. I just live in a house where my roommates keep it at a very cold temperature.
How cold?
They prefer like 68, 69.
Yeah, I keep it at mine at like 68.
I want it at 72.
Die. Why?
Because it's cold.
It's easier to get warm than cold.
Speak for yourself. I get really cold really fast. I like summer. I love summer. I think summer is great.
Ren says that you're heartless. You need to suck it up.
I'm reading what she says, and I'm not seeing any of that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Read the type there.
So I'm gonna take a quick step out to cough endlessly. Do you want to talk more about the No Banlist tournament and whether or not it should move forward as the new legacy?
As a new legacy, absolutely not. But yeah, while they're shelving up. So did anybody? Let me see the Chatterooski here. Oh, look, you commented. Did anybody watch the in the chat? Watch the No Ban List Modern. Let me pull up. I'm gonna pull up the deck list because I want to see like the top 16 or 32. That is the more important results. Let's find that real quick. Commander Anthology, Battle Bond, Core Set. Where do we find this? You think it'd be easier?
I could keep 2 lands, maybe. Well, not really. I don't want it.
I'm gonna search No Ban List. Modern SCG Con results. But yeah, as you know, we top 8. So as you know, we kind of went over the. So yeah, Lucifer 30 says unsurprised 5 out of the top 8 Eldrazi Winter. Who knew having 8 Ancient Tombs in your deck would be good? Yeah, and again, it's not the bad card in that. Like Jitte just adds to it because you're just playing a Legacy deck, right, without Wastelands. So you're playing a Chalice Jitte deck with all these big fat Eldrazi, and you don't get Wasteland, and you don't get City of Traders or Ancient Tomb, but you do get.
Yeah, there's no catch-all.
You get Eye of Ugin.
There's no catch-all type card in Modern. There's no Force Will, no Wasteland. There's nothing to keep certain things in check. It's just.
You do get Eye of Ugin, and Eye of Ugin says that I can play 6 power on turn 1 pretty easily.
Yeah, in a format where, even though everything's unbanned, there's still nothing to keep certain archetypes and decks in check, and that's.
No.
I think that's the problem.
I mean, it would evolve.
Yeah, I imagine it would evolve, and people would just be spamming enough hate, possibly mainboard.
I'm trying to find the top 16 of the No Ban List.
It's on. Did you check Star City's website?
I did, but it wasn't obviously there.
Are you sure? What would you do if I found it?
I didn't go there. I went to this page. But
you see, you go into their events page,
yeah.
And then where it says Coverage and Inca, you scroll down to Coverage Archive, and then you click the SG Con button, and it was the No Ban List Modern Open.
Yeah, there's a couple.
And here's the top
32. Nice.
But also, there's a Day 2 metagame breakdown. 13 colorless Eldrazi decks, 11 blue-red Delver, 11 black-green Depths, 8 Splitter Twin decks, 7 Infect, or actually Infect won the Invitational. 4 Eldrazi Posts, 4 White Eldrazi, 4 Crystal Shadow, 4 Miracles, 4 Elves, 3 Storm, one of which was piloted by one and only Robert Meadows.
Yep.
Also,
without Chromox.
Without Chromox, there was a top 32 deck of Storm that did run Chromox.
What do you go, like 4-3 or 5-4?
Meadows, he was 5-4 going to day 2, and then I don't think he won a game in day 2, if he even played day 2. So there's a humans deck in the no ban this Modern Open that made day 2.
Yeah, so Carlos Eldrazi is obviously the most busted. Delver's obviously good too. I'm interested in what's in the Delver deck list.
Yeah, top 8 of top 32 of Eldrazi, Miracles, Depths, Eldrazi, Depths, Eldrazi, 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 Jund.
Eldrazi, Storm.
What's in this Jund deck?
Jesse Hefner.
Death Ray. Yeah. Blood Raid, Bob, Death Ray.
So he's literally just playing. He just put a Jitte.
He put Jitte and Death Ray into Jund and said, well, that's good enough.
I mean, that is a tier 3 legacy deck.
The best Delver deck was 19th by Jacob Bard. Running 4 Delver, 2 Snap, 4 Thing in the Ice, 2 Young Pyros. And then lands, and we got mainboard Blood Moon, Raid, Bolt, Mental Misstep, Spell Pierce, Paper Snack, Pro, Ponder, Pure Day, and Treasure Cruise.
Yeah, so it kind of looks how you'd expect it to look. The problem, again, with what Jake mentioned earlier, is that the decks that do the most broken things are just going to kind of reign supreme, and that Force of Will can't keep them in check. I am interested to see the Elves list. There was an Elves list, too.
Let's take a look. See.
But you notice all the cards that were, like, inherently very broken, like Hypergenesis or whatever, they just did not exist.
No, because Eldrazi is way too efficient, way too fast.
Amulet Bloom.
The Billy Camino special.
Okay, this is Dryad Militant.
This is a very weird version of Amulet Bloom. 1 Maybord Dryad Militant, 4 Titans, 1 Rex Sage, 1 Azusa, 1 Embercold Aeons Torn, 1 Ulamog, the Ceaseless Horror, 1 Dryad Arbor, 4 Amulets, 4 Summoners Pact, 3 Stirrings, 3 Explorers, 4 Green Sun Zenith, 4 Summer Bloom.
So he's just playing that because you can tutor up with Eye of Ugin. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, there's an Eye of Ugin in there too. Okay.
I don't know why you're off plan A of just killing with Titans, but whatever. I was just interested to see.
That feels like you're being too cute. You have so many new toys now you can deal with. It feels like you're being a little bit too cute.
I would just want to be more in on the Titan plan, just play the old deck.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was a pretty well-refined work of art. We'll try to get these players unfrozen. I think our stream mother's AFK still. She had to run to the bathroom. Oh, she's back. We're refreshing. Here we go. Better start there from Terrell. He's got a map on turn 1 off the Ghost Quarter. Ravage Ravine for Eddie. There's a Tron land for Terrell, so he'll have some things to do here moving forward. As a turn 2 Bob is a play there from Eddie. And he passes it back.
Seems good.
All right, so some more optimal starts from both players.
See if Terrell has the answer to it, though. Special Contortion or the...
He's thinking. Would you just fire this off right here and get rid of Bob?
Depends what's in my hand, right? Do I have a 4-mana play? Do I have a 4-mana... Can I Thought Knots here in turn 3?
We're going to find out. Terrell's getting a Tron land.
So this is what you always struggle with, and I've said this before with Eldrazi Tron, is you kind of have to commit to it. If you go to the Tron land... So, like, you go, like, Temple, or you can go, like, Tron land.
Then we have to map gets any land. It doesn't have to get a Tron land. It can get... For example, he would have the option to play a Thought Nuts here by searching for Eldrazi Temple. There's plenty of times I've used Expedition Map empty-handed to get a Seagate record.
The problem with Tron though is if you're in for a penny, you're in for a pound. So once you commit to playing those Tron lands, like it works out to be much better if you get all 3 of them. Obviously, it makes you more susceptible to what Eddie probably brought him as board, like a Fulminator Mage or any deck with Ghost Quarter.
But I feel like I feel like I'd rather...
Got a Matter Ray Shaper here?
Looks like it.
Yep,
yeah, Matter Shaper. More lands in Charles' hand. Interesting, he has a Spatial Contortion. Decided not to fire off. Eddie getting the value already, punishing Terrell from the get-go. It's like Eddie's going to play the Bloodstained Mire he drew off of the draw for turn.
I don't think Terrell had a 3rd land in his hand. There's something to be said about if he has a 3rd land, then maybe save cracking your map.
Possibly. I know he has a waste in hand now, too. Well, I think he drew the waste for turn. Yeah.
Because, I mean, if he did, you could say, oh, well, there's a chance you want a Special Contortion that Bob. Because Jund's just going to outvalue you. You can obviously go much bigger.
But Jund can still gain it's so much value.
Yeah,
I mean,
unless you're Rowdy Smashering.
Eldrazi Tron still playing somewhat of a fair fight.
Yeah.
We have one violence saying Feel the Ruin could be a decent catch. It's not as good as Wasteland, though, and against these Eldrazi decks,
It's just not.
it's way too slow.
Yeah.
You can't Feel the Ruin until turn 3. By then, you can be dead.
And that's only viable in dedicated control and very, very slow mid-range decks. Control decks, it's unbelievable in. Right?
Yeah.
That's one of the most impactful cards printed that is modern legal in ages, you know, with like Fatal Push.
I would actually not mind seeing Wasteland in Modern.
I mean, at first blush, I don't really have a problem with it. I have to think about it more. But then, I don't know. Then you can't play big mana strategies.
I mean, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, so the archetype on the right is just completely wasted. It can't be a thing anymore.
Here's a Thoughtseize from Eddie. We see a hand of Spatial Contortion, Endbringer, Dismember, Walking Ballista, and Wastes. What would you rather have in Modern? Wasteland or Force of Will?
Force of Will.
Just because you can stop somebody from doing super broken things.
Yeah, if you have Force Will, that lets you explore more of the modern format unbanning, because there's a definitely cost to playing Force Will. It is card disadvantage. If I'm out of here, I just take the Endbringer. But yeah, I don't care about it. He has 3 different ways to kill. He has 3 different ways in his hand to kill the Bob here.
There's a way to kill Endbringer too with the Pulse.
If he has a Goyf, then he should just take.
He has a Goyf.
He should take the Ballista. No, I guess he could take. It doesn't matter. It actually doesn't matter what he takes.
Yeah, Eddie's hand looks pretty decently stacked here.
I guess well,
I feel like he's going to take
take
Ballista.
Ballista.
Interesting.
well, you just know that the cost of playing the Dismember is really high for the Eldrazi Tron deck. I mean, 4 life is nothing to sneeze at.
Of note, too, currently land, sorcery, artifact, creature. If Terrell places his member, it does not kill
Correct. Yep.
the Tarmogoyf anymore.
Yep. I love explaining that to people the first time because it makes 0 sense.
Yes.
It does in the context of the rules when you explain it, but
Also, Eddie does not cast his Tarmogoyf.
why?
I don't know.
I
He
can't-
really wants to bolt this Reshaper for some reason.
I think this is a bad play. Trigger. He gets a Smasher. Yeah. So to answer your question earlier, I think Force Will more than Wasteland. Force Will just makes it lets you play a more fair game. It lets you unban combo cards because those decks will just keep it in check. Because remember, Force Will doesn't matter if they don't have a clock.
The Scavenger's at the top there for Eddie. Not a bad job there. Terrell using his Spatial Contortion on the Bob, and now the coast seems pretty clear for Eddie to start dropping threats. One balance to good point. You need to get Wasteland in the Standard for it to go to Modern. That's going to segue into another topic I want to talk about as Eddie plays at the Ooze before playing the Tarmogoyf.
I just play Goyf here.
Yeah, just so you know, Eddie Terrell can't kill it.
You're kind of fighting at both ends of the spectrum here because it makes you want to eat things, and now he's just gonna get smashed.
I mean, Eddie's Goyf is a 5/6, so a block Smasher.
Yep. Well, he could have, but Eddie.
He's just gonna jump, eat. Oh, I don't know about this.
I'm so confused by this.
He's preserving his life total because the Smasher has trample, so he's just gonna take 2.
I don't understand why Eddie didn't play his turn with.
Neither do I.
Yeah,
Charles is a backup
basically,
Smasher in
Force
hand
Will
too.
basically just protects a combo deck, or it doesn't do anything unless you. Because combo decks have a clock. Eventually, they just go off.
Blood Moon off the top for Eddie.
Seems very bad for him right now.
Yeah. Oh no, Eddie,
No.
don't do it. No, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Eddie, no. It stops nothing from Terrell. Terrell's 5 mana. He's good to go.
Yeah, Terrell actually drew his.
This is the problem with playing Blood Moon and Blood Sun and Damning Spear against Tron. It gets to a point where it just doesn't matter. Terrell makes so much mana naturally, he doesn't care. Eddie finding some use though for the Blood Moon, discarding it to Emulsion Impulse, but he's gonna get punished as Terrell's gonna play Shaper number 2. Smasher number 2, I'm sorry.
I mean, I would just play the Endbringer here, or just play everything apparently.
I mean, that works.
I play Endbringer. I start accruing the card advantage because the Bob is dead. You'll outlast them.
But one balance brought the point about Wasteland and Standard. Well, we both think, I feel like we both think, because I know I do, when you're nodding your head, that supplementary products like Master Sets and Commander Sets should be Modern legal.
Absolutely, 100%. I think any card that's printed in a set that's not one of the standard normal releases should be modern legal. There's absolutely no point in supplemental product to print legacy legal only cards. Obviously, it's legal in Commander and EH also.
Yeah.
But I just do not see the point. They have enough people on staff now to actually test the format.
I hope. I sure hope. I don't want any repeats of Eldrazi Winter.
I think no matter what, we're gonna keep seeing repeats of mistakes. I don't know. Just unless they start paying people very good money to sit in a corner office and do nothing but test. Is he gonna spatial contortion this Tarmogoyf?
I think he's gonna dismember it. Yeah, he's gonna dismember it.
Yep. So it's a 2/3.
It's a 2/3. It gets trampled over. So goodbye, Tarmogoyf.
Tramples over for 3. I'm sorry for 2.
I had to imagine. I mean, Eddie knew about it too.
Yeah, so long story short, yeah, supplemental products like Commander decks, they should be modern legal, not legacy legal. Having them only be legacy legal is very weird to me because legacy is not a supported format, and Jake will rant about that later.
Yeah, oh boy, I will.
But there's no point to this doing legacy legal only cards. Like, why even print them then?
I think it'd be really cool to have Council's Judgment, True Nemesis available in Modern. I think it'd be really cool to have Flusterstorm in Modern.
I mean, there's plenty of ways to deal with True Nemesis in Modern. Like, there's a bunch of different ways already. Like, it's the same things as Legacy.
Yeah, there's ways to deal with it.
Yeah.
And
if anything, those ways are more playable in Modern than Legacy.
Yeah. I think we should see what happens with some of these decks. Fiery Confluence could be interesting in Modern. I'm trying to think. What are the best cards?
Fiery Confluence.
His E-Tron looks pretty stock.
Fiery Confluence would push the various Prison Moon decks pretty high.
Is that what you want to be doing in Modern, though, with the way the format is right now?
I don't think it matters what you do in Modern right now. As long as you're competent with your deck and your deck, is decent, then if you're a good player.
We see people. He wins as the most played deck, and we still see the Caleb Sharers and the Paul Muellers of the world bringing a storm and crushing it. So,
yeah, I mean, if you're good with your deck, you're good with your deck.
Yeah.
As soon as they evolve to not scooping on the turn 2 Meddling Mage, naming Grape Shot.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, let me pull up Caleb's list. These threats mainboard have been completely diversified to make sure that you can deal with Meddling Mage. Let's see. Like mainboard, here you have Unsubstantiate, Repeal, and Grape Shot mainboard to deal with the Meddling Mages. And postboard, you can abrade it, you can bolt it, you can wipe away it, you can actually truth it, you can explosives it, you can Chandra it if you want to.
It does not care what his opponent does.
Yeah, it gets to the point now where Storm's able to diversify itself. It weakens a little bit just because you have to respect humans so much. But ultimately, it does not matter anymore. It gets to the point to where the knowledge of your deck is what's carrying you more so than the deck itself. And people often, whenever I see someone say, "What should I build a Modern?" I'm like, find the deck you know best and build that. There's too many decks in the format to just completely metagame for something. Again, Infect won the Invitational weekend.
Yeah. I mean, Bernie, like I said, Bernie's made the argument before that you can metagame because if you're a solid player, you know you're going to be facing the top decks, but Aaron Barrett kind of blew that out of the water.
Yeah.
Mind you, he's one of those guys that's going to play Infect no matter what, right? And Zach Alsick is just going to play an interesting deck no matter what.
He played the
Cracklet Ironworks.
Yeah, Shep Shaw deck. Do you hear that won a Grand Prix? So it was a quote-unquote known colony.
Correct.
I'm sure it's a...
But he also won a GP playing...
Lantern
Control.
Yeah, I remember that. What were the top 8 decks in Modern? We had...
Gerard Fabiano played a Gerard Fabiano list.
We had Infect, Aaron Barish, Zach Elsick played Ironworks Combo, Michael Hamilton played Black Red Hollow One, Austin Collins played Affinity. I lost to both Michael Hamilton, Austin Collins at the Team Open in Cincy. A little salty about misplaying against Austin Collins, but he's a very competent player at a very young age.
Was it Michael or Austin top 8 at both the last Invitationals? I think it's Austin.
I think Austin. I know Michael won the first weekend of Hour Devastation Standard here in Cincy. Joe Stempo on Marta Pyromancer, Hunter Karot on Boggles, not Dreamline Hexproof. It's called Boggles, darn it. Fabiano on Just Get Control. I think that's less of a Fabiano deck and more of a just it's the best control deck in the format.
And it's a Fabiano deck.
No, Fabiano deck would be Sultai.
Sure. sure.
I mean, he won the first Modern Open with his weird Sultai list playing Ashiok main board. That was spicy. And then
May that card never appeared.
Modern Green Devotion was the 8th place deck.
Yeah, and I don't think that was a traditional Devotion deck, was it?
Let's take a look as both players are setting up for game 3. Acidic Slime, Arbor Elf, Birds,
Yeah,
Burning Tree.
Devotion, not the mono green aggro deck that we show on camera sometimes.
Yeah, so not Stompy,
Yeah,
just
this is-
actual Nykthos. Yeah, there's 4 copies of Nykthos in the deck. We have Thoughtseize, turn 1 from Eddie. Temple, Tower, Power Plant, Ballista,
It's also not mono
Smasher,
green. There's a
Willomark,
and
and
Burning Tree Emissary. I feel lied to by this description.
very funny. And Hairback Walker, the card I just completely blanked on.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'm still. Actually, I'm probably gonna. Why would he take the 10 mana card? I don't understand.
Maybe Eddie's just going, I can answer all these. Maybe Eddie's going, I don't see a Blood Moon in his hand. He has, ironically, the necessary basics. I don't think he has Blood Moon in his hand, though. So he draws a Stomper.
I would be more concerned there, not with the Ballista, but the Hangerback Walker.
Absolutely.
You play that for 2, and then you have basically three blockers.
Yeah.
I certainly don't take the 10 mana.
One violence saying that only idiots and troglodytes, both of those words in caps, call Buckles green white hexproof.
Oh, that's
Terrell is going to play this Hangerback on 1, and now
wait.
all of a sudden, it demands an answer immediately.
Eddie looks a little land heavy here.
He does. I bet he wishes he had a Bob.
I would have actually did that the other way around because I'm going to attack with my Hangerback. I'm going to attack with my Walking Ballista. I'm not going to attack with my Hangerback Walker. I'm just going to grow it and grow it and grow it.
Yeah. Here's it up to K. So Terrell's going to have to 1 top her off it. Former standard staple Hangerback Walker.
Yep. Now vintage staple.
Yeah.
It's quite broken. Did you see the vintage top 8?
I did not. I know there's a
Same
shop
gentleman that won the
smear.
Legacy. Yeah, he won the vintage Worlds. Same guy won. It was a shop smear. It was terrible. Restrict workshops. Oh, so I'm interested in chat. So Zach Elsick is actually friends with a bunch of guys that I know in Dallas, Texas.
Charles Thoughtnot gets 0 value.
You can't take a land. Oh, I don't know if we're joking or not. But Zach's also, I believe, a level 2 judge. So the issue came up when Zach was on camera playing for top 8, either in the second to last or the last round. And one of the bystanders actually caught a judge because they could see his opponent's search for Ascana as a flip card. They could see it through the sleeve. So the
His
internet
opponent.
exploded.
His opponent.
Yes.
Yes.
It wasn't Zach's card. It was his opponent.
Zach discarded 1 card off a Champion of Wits.
Sure.
That was what people were complaining about.
They're also complaining about him angle shooting.
Because his opponent had no pay card.
Correct. Yeah. And then even PVDR, Paulo Vitor Diamandorosa, a Magic Hall of Famer, even chimed in and said that he would call a judge 100% of the time.
On the
flip card.
Yeah, that's the rule. That's something they made very sure when Shadows was in Standard.
Absolutely.
Do not let your sleeves be see-through.
That is not angle shooting. That is the rules of the game. If you don't like it, then don't play competitive Magic.
Pretty much, yeah.
This is Star City Invitational. These guys know better. That guy should have.
As Terrell just too many big idiots defeats Eddie 2-1. Eddie with a land heavy hand. Looks like he wanted to take the hard to deal with threat there. And then Terrell's got the Thoughtseize and then try to answer his threats. But Hangerback plus Thoughtnut plus Smasher said, "No siree, I'm big, I'm bad, and I'm coming through whether you like it or not."
Well, but yeah. So with the discarding 1 from Champion of Wits, Magic's a difficult game.